Hi, I'm Mike Farrell. Welcome to World Travel's new online series, bringing you updates on airlines, hotels, car rentals, all things travel as we emerge from COVID-19. Let's go. Hey, welcome to this edition of Let's Go. Welcome to our World Travel Studios. Today, we have the opportunity to speak to two brand new employees with World Travel right as the pandemic happened back in March. Today, we have with us Laura Capiccioni, our Global Sales Manager, and Ivan Imana, our new Chief Information Officer. We're gonna do this virtually because each of them are not here with me in the studio. So we're gonna bring them in on our hybrid online interview, talking to them virtually in their own homes. So welcome, Ivan and Laura. Thank you very much for joining us virtually. Ivan, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ivan Imana, Chief Information Officer of World Travel. And as you can tell by the picture behind me, it shows that I'm in Wisconsin.
Thanks, Ivan. Laura?
Laura Capiccioni, Global Sales Manager with World Travel.
Thank you very much, both of you. I want to talk about that transition that you both experienced. As we know, COVID-19 hit in the beginning of March, and both of you were in the interview process along the way in the first quarter of 2020. And actually, unlike many other organizations throughout the country, World Travel increased their employee staff with two talented and experienced professionals. So Laura, I'll ask you first, what was that experience like making a move from one TMC to another during COVID?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, admittedly, it was a little scary. However, communicating with you and Jeff through the process and learning about the stability of World Travel, as every other TMC was laying off and furloughing employees, you guys were ready to keep going and keep forging ahead. And that's really thanks to how stable the organization was before COVID, as well as Jim Wells, the founder. So the positivity and the focus of World Travel has been huge, and everybody's been really focused. It's been so impressive to see you guys invest in the employees with training, and even developing technology during this time has been amazing.
Which is a great transition down to you, Ivan. So you started just before Laura did in March, and all of a sudden COVID happened. How did that make you feel?
It was very interesting. I was fortunate enough to actually be at the headquarters for the first couple of weeks, and then everything transitioned to being home-based. And just to, what Laura stated is that it's been very impressive that we were able to keep all the resources and focused on service during these very unusual times. And I've been fortunate enough to be part of the launch of World Hub and World Watch, and really focused on bringing the services we need to bring to the table in a very fast-changing environment.
That's an excellent point, Ivan. Could you just go a little bit more into detail on World Watch and World Hub and the value that brings to our clients and our travel managers, not only during the pandemic, but even pre and post the pandemic, the value of those two tools?
Really what it comes down to a platform. World Travel has a strategy as a platform as a service, so we can bring services prior, during, and after the travel experience. And it's from the end user perspective to the travel manager to the person that has to take on responsibility for procurement of travel management. Specifically in World Watch, we have a travel board that talks about the current situation of what's going on related to going to a destination, where your flight status is of multiple travelers, so that a ranger can look at it, and any other type of flight notifications that are real time and brought into any change during that travel experience. And then similarly, in the other platform, World Hub, we've been able to introduce new product that we'll be coming out with that's integrated into the platform, but at the end user level, notifying that traveler of changes prior, during, and after.
Excellent, thank you. And Laura, you've been having those conversations. You've been bringing those new platforms to conversations and speaking to prospects who want to come on board with World Travel. Can you talk a little bit about those conversations and how they've been going?
Yeah, I mean, all the travel managers are really hungry for innovation that's going to make their jobs easier. And they're super impressed by how quick and nimble World Travel is to get that COVID data onto that World Watch platform. They're shocked that we have it already because we're so proactive instead of just reactive and trying to scramble down the road and later, when it's not really important, have it.
Excellent. That's a great point. Keeping it relative and in front of them when it means something for them. Appreciate that insight. So Ivan, back to you. I want to talk a little bit about your IT team and you're managing them remotely now throughout the country. We have people, all 540, now employee number 541 and employee 542. All of us are working remotely. I feel very alone here in the World Travel Studios. But can you talk a little bit about the challenges that it's been managing your teams remotely?
Well, the good news is we really got a great, strong leadership staff when it comes to technology. But one of the challenges remotely is just collaboration, right? How do you make sure you come together to solve problems and addressing that in a rapid pace? But we've been able to set up weekly calls and getting together on Zoom and stuff like that, where we actually, hey, what's going on? What do we need to solve? And I think part of it is just the aspect of making sure that you see that other individual, because the body language is obviously a large part of the collaboration process. So I think we've overcome some of those challenges, but it's been unique.
Laura, similarly, I'll ask you that same question. You joined a business development team that was 17 strong and now 18 with you on board. What challenges have you faced and what has World Travel done to help you with that evolution and transition over to a new company when you don't get to meet anybody?
Yeah, it's different. I'm a huge people person, so not being able to come into the office and meet everybody face to face was different. However, I think with all of our team calls and Zoom calls and seeing everybody, it's odd because it's almost slowing things down, and we were able to all connect and work together and bring ideas to the table and brainstorm together instead of just all being all over the country doing our own thing. So it's been really cool.
Ivan, I'll ask you one more question if you don't mind. What's next? What's next for innovation? What do you see as we go through the pandemic and look forward to a road to recovery and travel? How do you see technology playing a role in that recovery?
I think part of it, there's this term digital transformation. And really what I view digital transformation is using all the tools that are available at the current time to bring the best customer service to your clients, right? And so that will be the focus now and moving forward. Examples of that is that we expanded the platform World Watch and World Hub, but we'll continue to make sure that we integrate solutions. What Laura mentioned recently, we've integrated solutions related to COVID very rapidly, getting that information out there. That will continue to be the roadmap of development and innovation at World Travel. As you've got operational things that we want to automate and integrate through the whole process and bring into the platform. And it's just making sure we're taking advantage of everything, of all the tools out there, whether that we develop proprietary or partner in that aspect. And it will be a continual digital transformation for World Travel, like every other industry. And I think the other important thing to point out is so much of our transactions and process in travel management are digital. And it's just making sure that we are bringing the best customer service, leveraging those resources in every aspect.
Excellent. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Laura, I'm going to switch the question over to you and talk about moving forward. So you've joined a new organization, you've been introduced to a lot of new technology platforms and a lot of new tools that you're excited and eager to get out there and sell. How is that process happening though? How has the sales process changed during COVID? How is your role as a very important role in the organization to bring new business into the company? How has that changed?
Yeah, so a lot of it has been virtual. We are now starting to see people meeting face to face, some socially distant meetings if clients are comfortable with that. So trying to push for those. In-person meetings are always so much better than virtual, but just really going with the comfort level of our clients.
Laura, you have conversations with travel managers daily. What are they telling you about the road to recovery?
Yeah, so things are really turning around, a lot more positive. There was a phase of fear where a lot of people didn't know what to do and how long things were going to last, but we're really seeing that turn around a lot. A lot of conversations with companies struggling with their current TMC, if they've laid off people or just not even being proactive and engaging. So world travel is not going to have that ramp up period that a lot of other TMCs are going to have with interviewing and replacing or just bringing people back on board. We're here, we're ready to partner, we're ready to support our current clients and new clients that are really looking for that support and to help them navigate all this post-COVID travel.
We are so excited that World Travel has had the opportunity to bring such talented individuals like you, Laura, and you, Ivan, on board. I need it on camera, though. You're staying for the long haul, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Laura, and thank you, Ivan, for taking time out of your very busy schedules to speak with us today during this edition of Let's Go. What I like to do is always sum up our experience with 3 main points that we've made today. So to our viewer audience, those 3 points that I want to emphasize with you are: 1, talent is out there. As you saw, we have 2 very talented individuals that we've brought onto the World Travel family, and we didn't let the pandemic ruin that opportunity or have us miss that opportunity to bring such talented individuals into the organization. The second is innovation. With that talent, we've been blessed with Ivan, who has led the organization to new and exciting innovation to bring to our clients. And the third point I want to make is to our travel buyers and all those travel buyers out there and suppliers that have the conversations. I know we mentioned on one of the previous editions of Let's Go that those conversations are extremely important. But as Laura indicated today, it's so important, whether it's a virtual meeting or a socially distanced in-person meeting, to maintain those conversations and find out what providers can be bringing you today that you currently may not have in your program. So thank you. It's been another great edition of Let's Go. To all of our travel managers out there, our supplier partners, from us to you, let's go.